Awesome people, this is Mr. Knight. This is your 3.2 geometry video, and we're looking at parallel lines and transversal lines, more of what we had yesterday. But now there's one slight difference. We're going to be looking at parallel lines and the relationship between the angles that are created by that transversal. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So we are on postulate 15, corresponding angles. And just to refresh, now these I will draw parallel because I will use them again. So let me tie this down here so it doesn't go anywhere. Locking, lock in place. There you go. Couldn't see it. All right, so I'm looking at corresponding angles postulate. If two lines are parallel, two parallel lines, so I have parallel lines, and so it's line 1, line 2, and I would say line 1 is parallel to line 2, line 3 is my transversal that cuts line 1 and line 2. Then it says it's cut by transversal, then the pairs of corresponding angles are congruent. So if you remember, corresponding angles would be like angle 1, angle 2 are corresponding. I would have angle 3 and angle 4 corresponding. You would have 5 and 6 corresponding, then you would have 7 and 8 are corresponding. All right. So now let's look at our alternate interior angles theorem. If two parallel lines, like line 1 and line 2 that I have, are cut by a transversal, which is line 3, then the pairs of alternate interior angles are congruent. So let me erase this real quick. So what we're, oh, I erased my purple line. Get back there. Okay. So so we're looking at alternate interior. So alternate interior would be in between my two lines and on opposite sides. So angle 1 and angle 2 would be alternate interior. They're congruent. I could look at 3 and I could look at 4. That again would be alternate interior angles, and they are congruent. So, sorry, I'm going to erase this real quick. Oh, get back there. There you go. All right, so now we're down here. Let's do the red. Theorem 2, alternate exterior. So very similar to the interior. Alternate exterior would be 1 and 2. Alternate exterior would be like 3 and 4. Okay, they are congruent. So, sorry, I got to erase this one now. Let's say 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. There you go. So now on the last one here, we're looking at Theorem 3, consecutive interior angles theorem. If two parallel lines are cut by transversal, then the pairs of consecutive are supplementary. So as I was saying earlier on another video, these were your consecutive interior, and so the sum of 1 and 2, angle 1, measure of angle 1 plus the measure of angle 2 is equal to 180 degrees because they are supplementary. So it also holds true on the other side also. So like 3 and 4 would be consecutive interior angles. All right. So let's move on. So I'm going to just kind of recap. The main words that we're looking at right now would be we're looking at alternate interior angles. We're looking at alternate exterior angles. You're looking at corresponding angles, and then you're looking at consecutive angles. All right, so I'm going to use red, blue, purple. My blue did not come out. And then we'll use black again, I guess, for the consecutive. Anyway, so let's look at alternate interior angles. So I would have angle alternate interior. So I have 1 and 2. They're alternate interior. 3 and 4 are alternate interior. So now let's look at the alternate exterior. That would be 4, 5, and 6 would be alternate exterior, excuse me. And then 7 and 8 will be alternate exterior. Then let's look at corresponding. I need purple. So corresponding would be, again, you have 1 right here, and corresponding would be 8 down there. You would have 3 and 6. You would have 5 and 4. And you would have 7 and 2 would be corresponding. And then consecutive would be on the interior. Consecutive interior angles would be, and what was I using? Black on that one. So consecutive interior would be like my 1 and 4. It would also be like my 3 and 2. All right. So let me go back here. So alternate interior angles. You had angle 1, angle. Actually, let me put that in. Hold tight. There you go. I'm having fun with these colors, I think. So alternate interior, that would be angle 1, angle 2 are alternate interior. Then you would have 3 and 4, angle 3 and angle 4, alternate interior. Now if I look at alternate exterior, it would be 5 and 6. So you would have angle 5, angle 6, and a semicolon. Then you would have 8 and 7. Then you would have angle 8 and angle 7 or alternate interior. Or exterior, excuse me. 7 and 8, 5 and 6, got it. So now purple, I'm looking at corresponding. Corresponding would be like 5 and 4, angle 5, angle 4, and then you would have like 1 and 8, angle 1, angle 8. Then you would have 7 and 2, angle 7, and angle 2. And then we would also have, let's see, need a semicolon there. And we would also have 3 and 6. So you have angle 3 and angle 6. So that would be the corresponding, all right? And then the consecutive, which would be my last set here. Consecutive would be like 1 and 4, angle 1, angle 4, and then you would have 3 and 2, angle 3, and angle 2, all right? So that's just examples of using these parallel lines 1 and 2 and then your transversal. Okay, so let's move on. All right, so now identify congruent angles. So the measure of 3 of the numbered angles is 56 degrees. Identify the angles, explain your reasoning and solution. So here's my angles. I know that that's 56. So I know that 3 is 56. That's vertical, right? I know that corresponding are congruent, so I know that that's 56, and so I know that 7 is 56, all right? So you could also use supplementary angles here if you wanted to. I know that 4 and 5, 4 and 5 right here are consecutive. I know the consecutive means supplementary. I could use the 56 and the 2 to get supplementary. So your supplementary would actually be, if that's 56, and this would be what, 124 degrees, 50, 70, 80, so okay, so I know 2 is 140. I know that 8 is 124 also, because that would be alternate exterior. I know that there's if you see what's going on here, and you have 2 parallel lines or even 3 parallel lines and a transversal, typically in a problem they're only going to give you one angle measurement, and then you can find all of these others by the alternate interior, alternate exterior, corresponding, consecutive, supplementary, and so forth. You can use all of those terms to actually find the answers to your actual problems. Okay, so all right, so let me scroll down here. These are your exercises. You have 1 and 2. They give you angles, and then they want you to find the other one. So pause the video, run through this real quick, and then once you have answers, start the video back up. All right, so let's look at this real quick. So number 1 says, if the measure of angle 2 is 65 degrees, find the other angles that have the same measure of 65 degrees and explain your reasoning. So I went ahead, and I'm using blue on this one, I think. Yeah, so I know that 2 and 8 are 65 degrees, so I'm over here now looking at my figure. I know that 2 and 8 are 65 degrees, and that would be because of vertical angles. I know that 2 and 6 because of alternate interior angles. I know that 2 and 4 would be congruent because of corresponding angles. 4 and 6 are congruent because of vertical. So there's multiple reasoning here to be able to find all these other values. So now if I look at number 2, that's purple. And my diagram, it says the measure of angle 5 is 115 degrees. Find 3 other angles that have the same measurement. So I'm using purple. I know that 5, where's 5 at? 5's way down here, so that's 115 degrees. I know that 3 is 115 just because of vertical. If 3 is 115, that means 7 is 115 degrees because of alternate interior. And I could also jump from 5 all the way to 1 because of alternate exterior angles are congruent. That would be 115 degrees also. Okay, so it's kind of fun, but it's pretty easy. Once you have one angle, you can find all the others. So now example 2, we're finding the value of x. So we have x minus 8 degrees there, and 55 degrees up here. So if you want to find, you know that these two angles are alternate exterior angles. You know that alternate exterior angles are congruent, therefore you can set them equal to each other and actually just solve for x. You know that x is 63. Now that's not the angle, remember, that's not degrees, that's just the value of x. So you got to plug 63 back in. So 63 minus 8, this would be 55, so you know your angle itself would be 55 degrees, but you already knew that because of that angle right there. Okay? So let's roll on. So you have 2 through 10. These are yours. And I think that's all, just 2 through 10. Yeah, 2 through 10 are yours. So if you would, pause the video. You have to find the value of x. And so they're not asking for the actual angle measurement. And please be careful when you read a problem because make sure you understand whether you're just finding x or whether you have to actually find the angle. If you have to find the angle, then you have to find x, plug it back in, and actually simplify to find the actual angle measurement. But here you're just finding x, so pause the video, run through these, start the video back up, and we'll check our answers. Alright, so let's check our answers real quick. So for number 3, x is 68. Number 4, x is 25. Number 5, x is 12. Number 6, x is 10. Number 7, x is 10. Number 8, x is 5. Number 9, x is 12. And number 10, x is 16. Alright, so let's move on. That is the end. Therefore, that concludes our video. Have a beautiful day, and I'll see you next video.